It didn't say the Most High, but it's going to be through the Spirit of the Most High that this is going to happen, because he's going to fulfill what his word says, you see. The people, you know, the Most High kept saying, that's why I kept showing you that Moses said, I'm going to put us, he's going to put us in our land. He said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, right? But here it says, the people shall take them. We're going to take these other nations and bring them to our place. Read.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High, for servants and handmaids.
They're going to be servants and handmaids. Men slaves and women slaves. Read.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
So we're going to take all those nations that we've been in captivity under, into captivity. Because we've been in captivity under Egyptians, Syrians, Babylonians, Persian and Mede Empire, and the Edomite Empire. So that covers the Hamites, Japhetic, and Edomites. They come from Shem. You know what I mean? So East Indians, you get them. You know, Arabs, Ishmael, all the enemies of the Most High. All these nations, they're going to be in captivity under us. Read.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
We're going to rule over our oppressors. Read.
Verse 3. And this shall come to pass in the day that the Most High shall give thee rest.
See that? From what?
From thy sorrow.
He'll give us rest from our sorrow. From our sorrow. Because this is a time of Jacob's trouble. But he's going to give us rest from our sorrow. This is the good news. To know that we're going to have rest regardless. Can't nobody stop this. We're going to have rest from our sorrow. Read.
And from thy fear.
He said we ain't going to never fear. Once he set us in our land, we ain't going to never fear. We ain't going to never be sad. Read.
And from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
That's right. And from the hard bondage where we was made to serve. Well, let's go back. Jeremiah 30. Verse 4.
Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 4. And these are the words that the Most High spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah.
So these are the words that the Most High spake concerning the 12 tribes of Israel. Israel representing the northern tribes, 10 tribes. Judah representing the southern tribes. All 12 tribes. You say Israel and Judah, that's dealing with all 12 tribes, okay? Go ahead.
Verse 5. For thus saith the Most High, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace.
See that? Say you're hearing a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Time of Jacob's trouble. And that's where we are now. That's why they're screaming, no justice, no peace. Ain't no peace. Ain't no peace.
No man bringing peace. There's no man bringing peace.
Right. I mean, they might as well even say that. You know, only thing I can see what they saying, you know, they rhyming no peace with F the police, you know. Now they say they added that, you know, but they ain't doing nothing for us creating no peace. They say no justice, no peace. I mean, you're going to do something. You ain't doing nothing. Marching, the only thing marching do is wear out your soles and your shoes. You wear out your heels. Wear your shoes down. They ain't paying attention to that. But now they got Edomites that's saying, you know, black lives do matter. But it's always an agenda. They're doing something over here, but they got something else going on over here. A lot of people, that's what most people don't realize. There's something else going on. Verse 6.
Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 6. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child.
See that? Ask ye now, and see if a man travailing with child. Child. Can a man have a baby? I don't think so. Can a man have a baby? No. Actually, now, if a man travailing with child, a man having contractions with a child, read.
Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins?
So why do the Most High see every man with his hands on his loins hurting, in pain, like a woman having a child, read?
As a woman in travail.
As a woman having contractions that she can already have a baby. So women that have had babies know how painful this is. So why he's saying, why do I see the men in so much pain? Why do we see the men of Israel in so much pain as a woman having a baby? They say that's one of the worst pains there is. That we can't even imagine. As men, you know what I mean? So he's saying, why do I see these men hurt with their hands on their loins? You know, a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. As a woman with the contractions happening. And you got to understand, it's getting closer and closer and closer. The contraction gets closer and closer than the baby comes forth. So now you see a man fear, and it's trembling and fear, and no peace. Then it eases up, then it comes again. Then it starts getting closer and closer and closer and closer. Which is happening all the time. As you see, one brother got killed, and so boom, somebody else got killed, or somebody else drive by, and all these things happening so fast all together. Quickly. In abundance. Read.
And all faces are turned into paleness.
Right, and all faces turn into paleness. Read.
Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it.
That's right. And it's too bad, all is a certain number, too bad some of them running into the way of the Gentiles. You know, and thinking that that's going to help them. He said, alas, that day is great. This day is great, read.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
Read it again from verse 7.
Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great.
That day is great. Read.
So that none is like it.
See that? So that none is like the time that we're going through or we're going to go through. Read.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
It's the time of Jacob's trouble. It's the time of our trouble. That's the 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
But he shall be saved out of it.
So we got to be saved out of it. Luke 1 and 68 to 71. This is how we got to be saved. We'll get 71. Luke 1 and 71. Because this is how we got to be saved as such, as it says. Read that.
Luke chapter 1, verse 71. That we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us.
See? That's where we got to be saved. We got to be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. That's why go to Psalm 94 and 16. Psalm 94 and 16.
Psalms chapter 94, verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
He asked the question. Who gonna rise up for the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for him against the workers of iniquity? But see, it's a time that we're going through. Jump up to verse 12. So you understand, a lot of time, you're going through what you're going through because the Most High trying to purify us. He's trying to refine us and make us better. So this just coming in, it's like some people come in, they look at, okay, well, I believe, so I'm going to be blessed. They're looking for something for themselves. But listen what the Most High says, read.
Psalms chapter 94, verse 12. Blessed is the man whom thou chastenest, O Most High.
See, blessed is the man whom the Most High chasteneth, who he checks and, brings you through the fiery furnace of affliction to prove yourself. And you can be proven to the Most High. Read.
And teaches him out of thy law.
And teach this man out of the Most High's law. Did it say our law? It said his law, your law. And teaches him out of the Most High's law. Read.
That thou mayest give him rest from the days of adversity.
You hear that? So we're not going over these laws for no reason that we may have rest in the day of Jacob's trouble. The day of adversity. Read.
Until the pit be digged for the wicked.
So it's a pit that's dig for the wicked. And we want to make sure that we be in the Most High's wings and not away from him during this time, because you all gonna be all alone. You're not gonna have no help. Ain't no help. You see? Read.
Verse 14. For the Most High will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance.
That's right. The Most High ain't gonna cast off his people, neither will he forsake us. But you see what's clear here? The Most High in verse 12, and teaches him out of thy law. So if you want to be taught out of the Most High's law, if you ain't dealing with his law, ain't no protection for you. You're not going to be protected because you're not doing what he say do. So we gotta look at this. Go to Psalms. Read verse Psalms 91 and 1.
Psalm chapter 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
See? Read that again.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of Mashiach Yahushua.
And say the Almighty though. You gotta read what you see. I gotta break it down. You gotta just read what you see. He said, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. You're gonna be under the shadow of the Mashiach Yahushua, as he said. I mean, now that you say that, we got to go and prove it. Go to Revelation, the first chapter. I believe it's the 8th verse. Read that.
chapter 1, verse 8. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, said Mashiach Yahushua, which is, and which was, and which is to come, the Almighty.
There it is. So that's him. So now go back to Psalms 91 and 1 again.
Psalms chapter 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Right, so he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High. That's why I say you got to seek him while he can be found. Because where the Most High is a secret. Everybody ain't dealing with the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. People don't even acknowledge him as such. They come up with different names and all that stuff, but they don't acknowledge him. He said, this is my name forever. In memorial to all generations, Mashiach Yahushua acknowledge him as the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob in Matthew 22:32. So who are we not to acknowledge him as the power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob? To be under the shadow of Mashiach Yahushua. Because we are Mashiachim. And Mashiach is the Most High in 1 Corinthians 3:23. You see, so it's got to make sense. It's not going to be confusing. He ain't the author of confusion. Read. Confusion. Read. Verse 2.
I will say of the Most High, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power. In him will I trust.
That's right. He's our refuge, our fortress, and our power. We got to trust in the Most High by Shama Mashiach Yahushua. Go ahead.
Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
That's right. Going to be a whole lot of noise going on in these wars, man, during Jacob's trouble. But you got to believe and have faith. What he says, he's going to deliver us. Those that are following his law, going by his law, and not their own little vain opinion, and letting evil come in and thinking that they can operate in the Spirit as the Spirit is showing us how them 7 men say, hey, I assure you by the same power, by Shema Mashiach Yahushua, that Paul's rolling in. Or that you think that someone else is rolling in, myself or anyone else. And you don't have it, and you don't really have it, then how's it going to work for you? You see it didn't work for them. They still use the same thing. That's why many going to say, Lord, Lord, in that day, or Mashiach, Mashiach, we did this in thy name, did that in thy name, cast off devils, did many wonders and miracles in thy name. You see, probably you workers of iniquity, I never knew you. It's very important that we see this. So we want to be delivered. We need to be delivered during all the things that's going to go down on this earth. Verse 4.
Psalms chapter 91, verse 4. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
You hear that? It's real. So he's going to cover us with his feathers, and under his wings shall we trust his truth. And we know what the truth is. The laws of the Most High shall be our shield and buckler. But if you're not doing what he say do, you ain't going to be under Mashiach Yahushua wings. He ain't putting you under him and you wicked. Not talking about the wicked, he's talking about those that trust him, and his truth shall be our shield and buckler. His law will be our shield and buckler as we follow him. Read.
Verse 5. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day.
Let you know, man, them missiles going to be shot. So we ain't going to be afraid of the terror by night. When it gets dark, y'all see that movie, The Purge? It's going to be like that every night. Where they going out just killing people, man, at will. It's going to be crazy. That's why we have to be under his wings, under his shadow. You know, a shadow, you following right behind, you know. You right there with him all the time. He moved, we move the same way. So his sheep hear his voice, and they follow him wherever he goes. And that's the faith that we ought to have in believing in this. So when all this go down, remember, we ain't fighting this ain't no carnal battle we fighting. It's a spiritual battle in high demons in high places. That's why we have to have this, because you got to look at it. It'd be better for you not to have known than know this. And then you go out there and you look at people, they making it, and you ain't gonna make it. Because you're gonna be beaten worse than what they have been, because that's what he called us to be able to withstand the times that we're going to get ready to go through now in Jacob's trouble. And still stay strong and stand as men and not get weak. Else you're gonna go out there and you're gonna get jacked up. You're gonna be like, wow, how come he's getting all jacked up and these people that's wicked as ever not? That's why you got an opportunity. This is the highest calling in the world. Nothing more powerful than this truth. Read.
Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
And you know, he's giving you clues here. Pestilence that walketh in darkness. This time, you know, the people in gross darkness are time. Remember he told Esau, get thee into darkness, right? Get thee into ignorance. So you got everybody's mind destroyed. For what? Lack of knowledge. This is a time of darkness. That's why he went on the earth, he said, hey, you got to pay attention while the light is in the world. Like we're light right now to go out to our people who are Gentiles and reach them and teach them and bring them back to the sheepfold. As Paul was saying earlier, how Paul's job was. He had to go out to wicked Israelites and, you know, ones that were knuckleheads and believing like the heathen, and bring them back to the sheepfold and let them know about the unknown power that's in a secret place. As we read, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Let them know that we have a power. I mean, if you always identify the Most High, whatever name you see in this Bible, God, Lord, whatever, by the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being who? The forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, eliminates a whole lot of mess. After that, you see what they're going to say. They can't say nothing. You see that. Done deal. Okay, are you Israel? You part of the 12 tribes of Israel? Nope. Okay, well, we ain't talking to you. He ain't talking to you. He ain't talking to them.